Okay. Now let's see, can we view it on YouTube? Okay. Okay. All right. So it looks like we are viewing it on YouTube. Yep, there we go. All right. Hey, welcome to YouTube. Welcome to YouTube. Hey, cuz, what you want me to call you?
That's a good
Are we
question.
behind?
Behind schedule.
No, I'm saying YouTube seemed like it had an echo. Hold on. Let me get rid of one of these. It said cut the YouTube off, so we're gonna cut it off. All right. Yeah, see, it's behind. Anyway, okay. We just gonna keep it like it is right now. Anyway, welcome back to you to King's Honesty. And we got my cousin Simply Beautiful on here, but we call her Jahari. And then we got my boy, my brother, Daniel, D.O. You know what I'm saying? B.O. on here. First of all, how was y'all's weekend? How was y'all's day so far?
Mine was wonderful.
No,
Oh,
mine
that
was okay.
sounds.
Mine was okay. It's a lot of snow.
Oh, y'all caught it?
Yes,
You in Jersey, right, Daniel?
yes. That's why I'm in the house. I don't like going outside in the wintertime unless I have to go to work or something.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. Never will you find me where it's
So cuz you in LA. So how is the weather out there?
today. No sun. It's supposed to rain. It's raining down in LA, but not up here so far.
It's always raining late in California.
It always rained after the fires.
Yeah, that's kind of messed up. You know what I mean? It should have rained during the fire, you know. But let's move on. So tell me, uh, let's start with cuz Jahari. Jahari, you want to call you Queen Jahari because I'm so used to calling you cuz.
You could continue calling me cuz. They know
Yeah,
you talking to.
you my little cousin, yeah. And so what was I gonna tell you? Let's talk about the Super Bowl because this got everybody up in the air, especially them folks. So uh Jahari, let's start with you. Why do you think that they so up in arms about Kendrick Lamar's before I say that, did you know that was the most watched Super Bowl halftime show in history?
Since Michael Jackson.
I just saw that. That's crazy.
Yes.
That is crazy. But anyway, so why you think they so up in arms?
I think everybody has their own reasons. If we're speaking about white people, I think it's false saying, oh, we didn't like it, we didn't understand it. Their kids were at home screaming it word for word. So,
Oh, that's true.
word for word, I've seen nothing but videos of white kids screaming the lyrics word for word and dancing.
That's true.
So, their kids know it. And sometimes people need to look at your generation of what you want to hear. That time has gone. It's past now.
Mm-hmm.
We don't.
Mm-hmm.
I think that demographic wanted to see some Bruce Springsteen fireworks. That's what they want to see.
Okay. So so you think it's the older people, older
I think it's the
people?
older demographic. I don't think the younger ones care. Most of them know the music.
Okay. Okay. So what about you? What about you, Daniel? What you think?
I think it's the older generation. I mean, they the ones going. They still got their old vitriol for our ethnic group,
Right.
and the younger generation, they don't really care nothing about that. They're not into that. So a lot of stuff, you know what I mean, that was done in the past is kind of obsolete in these days and times. They're trying to still hold on to some old rhetoric.
Yeah, I see that that's happening quite a bit with people trying to hold on to old rhetoric. You know, but what do you think about the performance itself, though?
I loved the performance. It was good, you know.
I did too.
It represented, you know what I'm saying? It represented our lineage because
It def-
we are Americans, whether people like it or not.
that's true. That's true. What about you, Cuz?
I loved it. You know, from start to finish, I loved it. Um, I think for a lot of people, maybe people from other countries who have the same skin color as us, I don't think they understand why we are proud to be American, why the flag means so much. That was the flag we fought under. What was the flag prior to the Civil War?
Mm-hmm.
So why should we not represent that? That was the flag that was flown to free us. So why wouldn't we be proud of that flag?
That's a fact. That's a fact. And we fought in every single war
Yes.
that this country has had.
Yes.
You know, so let's elaborate on that a little bit to understand what the culture is, because I
Mhm.
think this is a culture thing.
It is.
Um, that you know, Kendrick was representing FBA culture. Period. He was representing the lineage in America.
Hence, all of those things were brought to the forefront, I think. When the Drake and Kendrick thing finally took a head to what it is now, a
Hmm.
lot of people were confused saying, oh, but he's half black. It was never a question about whether he was black or not. Obviously, we know that. It was about
Hmm.
culture, like we discussed before. The cultural cues that we know. He missed them. You were raised by a Jewish woman in Canada.
Hmm.
I can see if his dad had more of an influence in his life during his younger years, and hey, I spent the summer in Memphis with my black cousins and immersed in that culture. I can
Right.
go, I can go press hair right now. Kendrick wouldn't, I mean, Drake wouldn't recognize what that smell is. Something's burning.
Ooh,
But
that's
if you
good.
walked in a room and smelled it, you'll say, oh, they pressing hair in here. It's a cultural thing.
Yeah, they got the hot cone.
But you would recognize the smell.
Exactly. Right. So, yeah, I'm with you on that, cuz that's a culture thing.
It's a
So,
culture. So
so
what
Drake got
you're doing,
destroyed because of culture.
exactly. You lack. That's the one thing you don't have. You're here as a big artist cosplaying American black culture, which you weren't raised in.
Right. That's a fact. That's a
So it's not
fact.
about whether you're black or not. We know that. The culture cues. When have they ever attacked the wives and the kids during battles in rap? A cultural thing, we know that that's off limit. Your mama, my wife, my kids, they don't do it.
They don't do it.
But this is something that he used, and people looked at, oh, he's dogpiling on people, where you're not really listening to the music or following what's been going on for the last 13 years. He attacks people's wives. He attacked behind the scenes trying to sleep with people's women. This is what he's known for. This is why no one's speaking up for him. And you don't, why do you need someone to speak up for you? This is what rap is about. Another culture clue that you miss. You're mad at people because they didn't speak up for you. Why? It's a battle between you and him.
Ooh. Go ahead, cuz you cook it. Go ahead. You cook it.
He say something to the women when he has beef, but I've never. He hasn't directly addressed the person who just dropped him in a coffin.
So Drake got dropped in the coffin by Kendrick because
he lacks
culture. He
the
lacks the
culture.
culture. Right. I agree. What about you, Daniel? Because I know Daniel don't follow that rap like that.
I follow. I like old school rap. You know what I mean? Some
Yeah.
of the stuff I follow, but I like what Kendrick Lamar did at the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? I'm old school. You know what I mean? I like old school rap.
Right.
Oh, you know what they say, hip hop. And I like
That's
R&B. I'm old school. I like oldies but goodies. I love
Right.
R&B.
Right. So you know, just to be clear, I do too. I like the new rap. I like the old rap. I like certain artists and stuff like that.
right.
So I'm not gonna say I don't like some of Drake's music. I thought some of his music was pretty good. But when you battle somebody like a Kendrick Lamar, who's like a lyrical genius, and he's rooted in culture,
Right.
why would you even try to battle him?
Well, I think that it was a miss shot. Like he's known Kendrick apparently for years, so he still didn't learn anything. Kendrick pays attention, quiet, and he pays attention.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't seem like Drake does that.
Hmm. So Drake is just making noise, basically,
No,
in your
he.
opinion.
I will say this: he has made a lot of people money, and I think by featuring on songs, and I think he kind of expected them to jump in, but that's not what you do in the
Mm-hmm.
art of hip hop, rap. That's not what you do.
True. So you don't think he thought they was gonna come in and bail him out, type of thing?
Because that's what somebody who can't stand on their own do. Now, if you look at some of the music, he takes on the culture of whoever he's doing a song with, whether it's Afro beats, whether it's somebody from Houston. This is what he do. He has no identity of his own. The best thing he could have did, be true to self, not try to take on other people's identities. And there's proof of that. If you see him around a certain artist, you'll start seeing him dressing like that person or emulating the culture that they come from within their own state and within their own city.
Hmm. I haven't noticed it.
Well, you wouldn't. That's not something you pay attention to.
Right. But I thought he had a pretty unique, because his was more like singing and rapping, kind of
He's
like
a
at the same time.
he's a dope artist, but you got to be honest about what caused him not to be the person on top in this particular situation. I mean, no one ever said that he wasn't a good artist.
Right. 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 So that's why he got put in the coffin.
He lacked the cultural identity to be able to stand against somebody that comes from a culture that you're visiting. Yeah, you're black, but this isn't your culture. Whatever black Canadians are doing, that's your culture. And I can't even say that because you had bar mitzvahs. You were raised by a single Jewish woman. How does that equate to black culture?
It doesn't. It doesn't. So he was raised pretty much by like a Jewish type culture.
Exactly.
Mm. So he lacked that FBA foundation that all of our parents taught us,
Right.
and all the experiences we had with our grandparents and parents over the years. He lacks that.
Right.
He lacks the way our mothers and grandmothers and all them cooked during the holidays.
Basically, if you gave him some greens, he'll put it in a bathtub like Kamala.
I wish I
That's
could
funny.
laugh there.
Oh man.
Oh, that's funny. You know what I'm saying? That's funny. You know what I mean? So okay, so let's go to so we got to do some FBA history because uh it's a lot that FBA have done that's not have not been recognized, I believe. You know what I'm saying? And some of that history is Liberia. I mean, we was all talking about it yesterday.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So Daniel, talk about the FBA history in Liberia.
Well, during the during the 1800s, the FBAs went to Liberia with the help of the American Colonization Society.
Mhm.
They started that flag. The flag the Liberian flag had is similar to the American flag. It just got one star. So FBA created that flag. They created that civilization over there. When they went over there, they found out that a lot of the Africans, different tribes over there, was involved in the slave trade, and they stopped the slave trade over there. Because remember, the Americans colonization armed them with weapons too. They didn't just give them; they gave them food and weaponry. So they was able to stop it with the weaponry they had.
Most people don't know that. Most people don't know that. So, Black Americans went over there, and um, and what, Jahari?
You said in what?
Right? Because you all told me this yesterday. I wasn't really up on that. I'm not gonna
Well,
lie.
this was kind of like a result of the Lincoln thing. Remember, he said that after slavery, black people should go down into Mexico because the climate and everything mimics what's in Africa. So those that returned, the first ones, went to what is now known as Sierra Leone. And I guess the land wasn't something that they could live and grow things, so they moved on from there to what is now known as Liberia. People were dying in the swampy area of Sierra Leone. That's
Mm.
how that came to be. So I don't think their first landing was really in what is now known as Liberia. It was Sierra.
Okay, you cut out. You there, Daniel?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here. Yeah, they went to Sierra Leone too. Yeah, that's true. Yep.
Did she cut out?
Okay, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, okay. So what was you saying?
So the U.S. assist them, like the U.S. naval officers. A few people assisted them to start. This was for people who wanted to return, and a lot of people did.
Hmm.
And so when we think of, okay, we know that we're Black American. You think of now, if Black Americans went over there to Liberia, who are those people today?
Now who would they be?
I think intermixed with the people, the tribes that were in that area at the time. They didn't have a necessary a state name, just identified by their tribe. You mix with the locals, and you have kids.
Well, the tribe that they called the
So what
ones
other
that
group
descended.
was over there? Go ahead,
Uh,
Daniel. Go ahead.
You told me to go ahead.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
the group that they called that's descended that left in the 1800s in Liberia, they call them Americo. That's the name of the ethnic group,
Mm-hmm.
Americo. I think, yeah, America. That's what they call them.
Okay. Go ahead, Daniel, because I know you know this stuff.
Yeah, and when Charles Taylor took over, they did mix with the other people, but they still identified as a separate ethnic group called Americo. That's what they call them.
So what group was actually over there when they got there?
You had the Mandingo people. They had different types of tribes over there. Uh, uh, I know Medingo was one of them. It was I forget the other one. You know what I mean? But they had a nasty civil war over there. It was really deadly and nasty, and a lot of people from that was descendants of slaves. A lot of them got killed over there too.
So
It's all about.
who came out victorious in all of that?
Well, it was nobody really came out victorious like that. I
Hmm.
forget the ethnic group that took over, but it was a nasty civil war.
Okay.
Well, the problem they had when they first got there was none of the tribes were willing to sell land for free blacks to return or to settle on. So they, earlier than what was documented, they went out there. The founding of Liberia is 1847. When they
Hmm.
first took the trip, two people were sent so that they could buy land from the tribes. That was in like 1818.
Mm.
So even before slavery ended, this was their attempt because black people kept having babies.
Okay.
So this was done to deal with the growing population of black people.
So the black people were multiplying.
Exactly.
Mm. So who's in Liberia now?
I think it's a mixture of people. I think it's a mixture of people. I don't think it's any one thing there if you consider how it was started.
So are they Arabs over there?
No, I don't believe so.
Do you know Daniel who's over
There.
there now?
If it is, it ain't that many. That's what I know.
Okay.
It's just other it's other African ethnic groups. That's what's over there. That's mostly over there.
So it's just a mixture of different tribes
Yes, yes, yes.
that's over
That's
there.
all. That's what's over there.
Okay. So what's some other FBA history most people don't know about?
You
Because
said some
most
other.
people don't know some other FBA history, Black American history. Because most people didn't know that about Liberia.
Yes. Other FBA history. People think Ford was the first one to come with the car, but it was FBAs who had cars too.
Right? And planes.
That's
Because
true. That's fact.
the plane patent was a black man.
Yes, it was. Yep. The
You know what I mean?
Patterson brothers came with the car. They just couldn't they didn't have the they couldn't mass produce it like Ford, but they had the car too. Patterson brothers. And the Patterson brothers
Mm,
are FBA.
hmm. That's what's up, man. So what about these ops that's out here now? Because we know some of them. They fighting against their own lineage. That's crazy to me.
You know what I think? You know how long it takes for somebody to form an ideology about something.
Hmm.
Sometimes it takes just about that long for them to think or to see it another way. And I at first believed in the Pan African movement, but I think we're at a point where everyone needs to clean up their own groups before you go back and say, hey, now how can we come together and make this thing work? Now is not the time. Black Americans got things that they need to work on. Africans from their various countries have their own things that they need to be working on. Fix
Hmm.
your country and get your country back in your hands. So, another argument of telling, oh, you're African, just for them to tell us, oh, you're not African. Some sort of little mind game.
Right, right, right. So
When you're
yeah, I
outside of
agree.
the over 500 years,
Hmm.
counting, of course, you are now a different group
Right.
But the thing is, they want us to be ashamed or mad about that. So the arguments come because we are telling people who we are and not letting other people name us this time around.
Which is wait, have we been doing letting them name us and everything for what Jesse
Exactly.
Jackson started the Black American, African American, I'm sorry, terminology. But we have been one thing we have been doing that we're definitely taking back the range over is that um uh, people who are explaining who we are as a people, explaining our culture. Other groups have been explaining our culture. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
we're telling our story. So we now we like we don't want to don't tell our story. We have our own story. We'll tell it. You know what I mean? And everybody seems to have a problem with it because everybody was always able to interject themselves in our story. And I mean that's every community. You know what I mean? Every community. And so now we telling our own story.
No, I think there was benefits to people telling us who we were, where we came from, and what we are. There's benefits to that because you kind of think like, well, oh, I'm from Africa, so I need to connect with my people. I need to connect with Africa. Not saying all, but a lot of them don't feel the same way.
Right? But Daniel and I early on, we were Pan Africanism, we believed in it.
Right.
That's true.
Dan,
That's true.
you know what I'm saying, Daniel?
Yes, true. That's
We
true.
we believed in it. We were,
I know
we
you
were
did
stuck in that rap because me and Cuz got into it about it. You remember Cuz?
because let me tell you what was happening at that time. So,
Mm-hmm.
I have friends from various different backgrounds. So, when we were having those conversations over the last 2 years, I'm predominantly hanging out entertainment wise with some of my friends who are from Liberians. Okay. Mother foundational, dad from Liberia, and another group that are from Belize.
Mm-hmm.
Not the Belizean group, but the African group. You hear things and you see things. Nothing said to me. They say it almost in a way because they believe that they're smarter than Black Americans.
Okay.
Uh, the same stereotypes that a white person would put on a Black person, this is the same thing that they do. When
Right.
you're raised being told, stay away from these people, they're this, they're that, they're this, they're that. How are you saying now that we are family? And what I'm telling you is this is what I'm starting to see like, you know what? Same skin color. These are not my people. So that was going on at the same time when me and you were having those discussions. And that's when I came to the conclusion that there's nothing wrong with being foundational Black American. That's what I am.
Right. Yeah. I ended up coming to my conclusion. Daniel, when'd you wake up? When'd you figure this whole thing out?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was like off and on with the concept because I dated a girl from Liberia, and she told me to my face that I'm not African. That was, you know what I mean. So then, when I went to Ghana, I got my little wake up call when I was in Ghana. You know what I mean? I caught what you call them? Not Ubers. They got some. I forget what they call it in Ghana. And the guys
Mm-hmm.
tried to overcharge me, and he said to my face, he said, "This ain't the states. This ain't the states." I mean, it's little stuff like that. You know what I mean? They look at us as foreigners. We're foreigners over there. In Ghana, the name they got for us is called a Bruni. They call us a Bruni, and the
Mm-hmm.
Bruni means white person. And we are culturally different from them. You know what I'm saying? We don't have the same culture. We ethnically different from them. I found out a lot of stuff. We were sold this Pan African pipe dreams. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
From certain people, they had us believing in that, and it's turned out to be an object failure. It doesn't work. It's not even working on the continent. Matter of fact, when I was in Ghana, they had a Pan-African, they're supposed to have a Pan-African conference. Did you know the government of Ghana shut it down?
No, I didn't know that.
Yes, sir.
Because
What?
why would they before that? That's help unite people in the individual countries who believe in this ideology. They're getting kickbacks from the US government. No, we don't want this.
What? What? So they shut it down?
Yes, sir. They shut it down.
So Ghana shut it down?
Yes, they did.
Now, now I've heard about them overcharging and you going there trying to get citizenship and they charging you a fortune and it takes a long time for you to actually get it. And that's been happening a lot. You know, I know that they could just take whatever it is, land that they allow you to build on, or they can come back and just take that land from you after you build a structure on it and anything else on it. They can literally come take it from you. You know, so the thing is, like, who are these people selling this dream, still selling this Pan-African dream besides Dr. Umar and some other people? You know, these are not our people.
Well, you got people. I no slight to Saul Netta. I like Saul Netta, but he got people on his channel. They push that Pan African stuff like Jabari. You know, they push that stuff.
But then, you know what I think of it? I think that it's okay to a degree, because if you believe in this, they believe in that. Just where is the intersection? Where's the intersection where these things can go forward to the benefit of everybody who believe what they believe? It doesn't always have to become like a gang where now you're arguing and fighting each other.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of it, even to Pan-Africanism, the whole thing is blackness. That's really the bottom line. They just look at it different with a broad, this one included, that one included. These are our brothers. These are our sisters. They look at it different.
But
I believe in cleaning your own house before you go cleaning someone else's.
well, the
Black
people
Americans have work
that
to
look
do.
at it that way, they don't look at it that way. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? You can't look at it that way, and then they don't look at it that way.
That's
they look
true.
at you as a foreigner.
Right.
There ain't no way that's gonna work out. What kind of relationship is that? You know what I'm saying, Daniel?
Yeah.
What kind of
Yes,
relationship is that?
yeah, it's definitely not going to walk out because first of all, they speak different languages. They're culturally different from us, and we have our own culture. So it's
Right.
definitely, and plus, people is not willing to lose their sovereignty for Pan Africanism. Because if you do Pan African, your sovereignty is going to be gone. Your individual ethnic, what makes you ethnic, make you unique, is going to be put to rest if you try Pan African. It's not going to work. I can't see it working.
I can't see it working either.
Because we culturally different. They're culturally different on the continent. They have different cultures on the continent. So how it's going to work?
It's a pipe dream.
Yeah, it is. It's a pipe dream.
Because here's the thing: how could you? We have to clean up our own backyard. And the thing is, if you want to meet us, like she said, like Cuz said, if you want to meet us halfway, but here's the problem: they haven't been trying to meet us halfway.
Okay, and that's why
they've been trying to take our spot.
And we have let them. We need to stop being. We are the world. Okay, everybody thought that was the right way to go, but you also have to look at them. They are behind the times as far as their country development. So that goes hand in hand with education and everything else. Hence why they always leave. They go to the UK, they come to the US, they go everywhere but home. It's easy for them to come live amongst us in our communities because we don't care because they're the same color as us. They open up a business, we go in there, we buy because, hey, they're the same color as us.
Right.
Go drop your business cards as a Black American in an African business, how some of the businesses have cards in the front, and go back the next day. Leave 50 cards. I bet you they're all gone. Do you think 50 people came in and picked up your car specifically, or did these people throw them away?
They threw them away. They threw them
And
away.
another thing I see that's wrong at the African hair braiding place. I used to take my lady to the African hair braiding place. They don't even hire no FBA. Okay. And Martin Luther King said we should not support businesses who don't hire us. And
Right.
we need to get our sisters to start their own braiding. Sisters can braid hair.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So they're not looking at us as the same people. They don't look at us as their people. We're
That's
foreigners
true.
to them. If you go
Right.
to the African hair braiding places, they don't hire no FBA women. That's a fact. Because I used to take my lady, I ain't see no FBA women in there braiding hair. But they like to take our money and help their people out. So what I say is the first law of preservation, we need to worry about ourselves and take care of self. This Pan-Africanism stuff, we were spreading ourselves too thin. It took the focus off of us. That's why it's detrimental.
Well, that's why it's a culture everybody want to be a part of. It's not, oh, I want to go over here and be African. Everybody want to be a Black American. The way that we dress, our lingo. Not they also don't understand that we are different according to the regions that we come from. The lingo, the food, there are differences even within Black American culture, but we recognize them. I can listen to you talk and say, oh, hey, he's from Jersey, or hey, that's a Chicago accent.
Mm-hmm. But the problem with it is this is the delusional part for me for the FBAs or Pan Africanism. They trying to come here. So
That's true.
they trying to come here. You stupid niggas. And talking about, oh yeah, we gonna go over there. Nigga, they trying to come here.
Right. Don't let them trick you up out your spot. You'll be over there in an undeveloped country while they over here enjoying everything these so-called you not Africans built. That
But Donald Trump not doing it. He
of
kicking their ass
return,
up out of
all
here.
of that stuff was a con game. They thought that Black Americans was going to help make certain areas in Africa a hot tourist destination because we set trends. So now, if everybody's goal is to save money, we're going over here to Ghana. It's popping in this area. They were dependent on us to do that for them.
Also, the reason why they did the year of return because they was in debt to their eyeballs to China, so they was using us, try to use us to pay their debt off.
Oh, that's deep.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. We're not. Here's the thing. We just have to wake up as a culture. You know what I mean? And we're always creating new ways, new things, new music. Like for instance, Teddy Riley, with that New Jack, that stuff was hitting. Like New Jack was hitting. You know what I mean? And we always create new genres, new this, new that. And they have always came in and we have embraced them as our brother. In the meantime, they were stabbing you in your back. Like, for instance, all the Jamaican places in Chicago, who do you think is going in there buying food on a regular basis?
FBA. A lot of FBA.
FBAs. And then they had nerve to start talking shit because Kamala Harris has some Jamaican or Caribbean in her. And so all of a sudden, they was on X talking mad shit. Mad crazy. And so it's like it happens all the time. So every time we let them in, then they went to the Black and Brown Coalition, which I never believed in anyway. So
Yeah, that's another pipe dream.
That's a pipe dream. You start seeing the Black and Brown people, Al Sharpton and them. Well, they always attacking the Black and Brown people. And I used to go, who in the hell are you talking about? You know what I mean? We the Black and the Brown people. We was in
Facts.
this land, and we was in this land first. They used to call us copper people. Am I right or wrong? We was copper.
You're right. Copper tone. That's what we are.
Copper tone.
We different shades of copper tone. Brown.
We are.
That's facts.
So how in the world? So how are when we got out there and marched, they wasn't marching with us. When we went out there to fought, they wasn't fighting with us. I'm gonna be honest with you. You want to hear something crazy? There was a whole bunch of white people, believe it or not, that was out there fighting with black people against the system. It wasn't Hispanics in them and Asians.
It wasn't even no Africans.
It was absolutely no Africans.
Everything we did allowed them to be. Everything we did allowed them to be. It allowed them to come here with their kids, have baby. Oh, my kid's a citizen. It allowed Africans to come here on these different USAID programs
Right.
to get education here. That wouldn't be possible. You were in your own homeland still getting slaughtered by white people. We are so-called in a foreign land standing up and fighting. We made it possible for all of them to be here. And they don't seem to think that that's true.
Well, one of the things is they always use Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey. If Malcolm X was living today, he would definitely identify with FBA. He wouldn't identify with the African culture.
Okay, I want to ask you this because I didn't ask you this when we talked about it the other day.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think his faith in Islam would have overrode that? Because one thing I do notice, whether it's Black, Muslim, they seem to unite under that one ideology and not about a color.
I think that he probably would have walked away from the Nation of Islam completely because he had already started.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
go ahead.
the type of person he was the more he saw, the more he adjusted. Now, Daniel was in the Nation. What do you think, Daniel? You think he would have walked away from it eventually?
Well, he did walk away from the Nation, but I think he would have. I think if he would have, lived long enough, he would have probably walked away from Islam altogether. And I also believe he would have got away from that Pan-Africanism stuff too. Because you got to remember, he was growing. He didn't even make it to the age of 40. He died at 39. He got assassinated at 39. But he was. I remember he grew because when he was in the Nation, he would say, "I'm not American." But
Right.
then he flipped. Then he changed and upgraded stuff. His organization was called the Organization of Afro-American Unity. So he identified as being American. That one time he didn't do that when he was in the Nation.
That's true. He definitely was evolving. He definitely was waking up, and he was the type of person, once he saw the truth, he adjusted.
Yes, that's what kind of person he was. That's true.
Yeah, so a lot of people were very limited in adjusting because most people are just complacent when it comes to comfortability. He wasn't like that. He wasn't that type of person. So to use that and say, well, Malcolm X said this. He said a lot of great, brilliant things. He's our cousin. But the truth is, he was constantly growing. And I don't think he would have identified with any of those. I think he would have ended up saying that religion was a brainwash and control over Black people.
And also, Malcolm said, "Put your religion in your pocket." That's what he said. Put your religion in your pocket. We know. Okay, so he was growing. He was advancing.
Growing. Yep, he was
Okay.
advancing, and he knew religion itself was keeping everybody separated.
Yep. And the conflict he had.
They were trying to separate him and Martin Luther King from ever being, cool with each other. You know, that's a
Yeah.
Yep.
fact.
And then
Go ahead, I'm
and
listening.
yeah, later on he started working with. He was trying to work with the civil rights leaders. Matter of fact, he went to the church, but Martin Luther King wasn't there that day. He was in jail, but he, you know, what I mean, well, Coretta Scott was there. He went to the church, and you know, what I mean, he was trying to make his relationship with the civil people that worked in the civil rights struggle better. You know what I'm saying? He said that Martin Luther King and him was agreeing that Martin Luther King would do the South and he would do up North. You know what I'm saying? They was trying to work together, but unfortunately he got assassinated, and then later on Martin Luther King got assassinated. They both got assassinated at the age of 39. They both of them didn't make it to the age of 40. Even Martin Luther King was trying to correct some of the mistakes he made. You know,
He
he was
was.
growing too.
He was growing too. And they definitely didn't want them to combine and become one unit. He did not want that. They did not want that. You know what I mean? And this is what I say about um traitors. That's why we're talking about FBA ops. You know what I mean? FBA ops seems to be pushing this Pan-Africanism. You know what I'm saying? And they trying to push it on the FBA community, and now we're rejecting it.
That's because people don't pay attention to what their kids is consuming. Your kids are tuned into academics. Your kids are tuned into Kai Cenat, whatever
Mhm.
his name is. Your kids is tuned in to Adam 22. Uh, what's the other guy named Mao? These are all black immigrants.
Right. And we turning those people off. We got to turn them off. We got to let our kids understand that these are traitors.
But no one is doing that teaching anymore, because then you would have to go back to figure out what's going on in black American homes. And then that's a whole nother can of worms. Who's teaching the kids? The kids are usually with the women, the men usually, that's how it used to go.
Right.
But now who's teaching the kids? These kids are so disconnected from that ideology of race.
Right.
No one talks about it anymore. I had one of my little cousins in a car with me. We were driving across Texas. We left California, we're driving across Texas, and we were talking about the trees. And so I got to explaining strange fruit and all of these various things. Do you know this girl had never heard of any of this?
I believe it. I believe it. Because the cell phones have dumbed down our young people. So if you don't look stuff up or your parents don't educate you, you're not going to know because the schools are
My,
not going to teach you.
no, but you shouldn't depend on schools to teach your kids the math, the certain things. But those things are usually taught at home.
Correct. But the mother and father's working, or the mother's a single mother.
Right.
You know what I mean? The mother's a single mother.
That and the grandmothers became younger and younger.
Oh, the grandmothers are 40 years old. I was just having that discussion yesterday with Vienna. The grandmothers are 40 years old, bro. The grandmothers are like 60 years old. This is just the truth. The great grandmothers I'm talking about.
I know a few people in their 30s, mid 30s, that are grandparents already.
Yeah, I could
That's
believe that.
that's crazy.
Mm.
But the opposite that we're talking about are absolutely we definitely shutting them down. And they got a serious problem with us right now. They got a serious problem with us right now. And the thing is, most of them that we know, because Daniel and I know a few of them, they are literally out here on some bullshit.
Yeah, that's
They're not really
facts.
trying to bring nobody together.
That's true. That's facts.
They're about themselves and they're lining their own pockets. They're identifying with different groups that hurt our community.
I know one of them. He's pushing that stuff that all black people should move to Georgia. To me, you trying to get us in a land. We're not trying to be in no landlocked. We need to occupy where we at and be all over the United States.
No, they want you to do that so they can come drop a bomb on you. Never put it in history books that they did it. And 50 years later, somebody be like, I never heard of this.
That's a fact. Yeah. Right. Yeah, because I heard he was talking about let's move up there by the millions. How stupid is that? Like,
it's very stupid.
You ain't learned nothing from history yet. Like, did you take a history class? But that's all right. Tariq Nasheed lit his ass up on that. But here, the thing is, you ain't learned anything from history. We need to be spread around and buy land. We need to have land in Alabama, Georgia, Chicago, Kankakee. We need to have land everywhere. You know
that's
what I'm saying?
fact. Because you be in one location, you're gonna be a target. You know what I mean? You're gonna be in a landlocked.
Absolutely.
And we ain't trying to be in no landlocked. That's how stupid and ridiculous it is to tell us you want all of us to move to Georgia. How dumb that is. It's stupid.
Yeah, that don't make sense. But before that, it was like, oh, let's all just go back. You know, like Garvey had the idea because this person loves Garvey. Let's go back to Africa. So you could be treated like a foreigner and not accepted by them. Listen, African tribes, they identify with their own tribe. They don't even identify with the other tribe.
That's facts. Facts.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, they don't identify. The Zulus don't identify with one of the other tribes. They don't.
Yep.
So how are we gonna all go to different spots in Africa and identify with all those different tribes and those different continents?
The tribalism is the reason why we're having these conversations today.
True. No, that's true. The FBA is a tribe.
But if we were so-called sold, the story they like to tell us, if you were sold by your own people, tribalism. If this is the case, they weren't selling their own people. They were selling people from neighboring tribes they were at war with.
Exactly.
That's facts. That's facts.
That they had conquered.
Yeah, another lie they like to tell us that we got kidnapped. The white people just came over there and just kidnapped us. No, that didn't happen like that. What happened was some of us who they had a war with another ethnic group, and they traded that ethnic group to the white man. That's what happened.
Right.
Okay. Tell the truth. Don't give me no Roots story. No fairy. You know the Roots. We got duped by that Roots movie. That's not how it really went down.
That's true.
Another thing, they don't. Another thing they didn't tell us that we have an indigenous history in America. There was black people in America before Christopher Columbus, before the Red Indian, the Mongolian Indian. We were here. They got artifacts to prove it. If you look at the Olmec head, they got an Olmec head without the helmet, and his head is kinky woolly hair with broad nose and thick lips.
But even Christopher Columbus described what he saw when he got here. And they always downplay what he said he saw. You notice that? All since we were kids, we never heard that he saw copper people.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he saw copper people. That's crazy. But not surprising. Not surprising. So the ops that's out here are definitely trying to push go back to let's millions of us go to Georgia so they could drop a bomb on a couple million FBA people. But if that's the case, why don't you and the Africans go to Georgia. The ones who gonna be left, because Trump getting rid of all of them, pretty much. Why don't you take all them to Georgia and see where they follow you down there? You think they'll follow him down there?
No, I don't know. I mean, they
Hell
look at him as a
no.
foreigner. Whether he know it or not, they look at him as a foreigner.
Yeah, they look at him as a sucker foreigner. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's how they look at us. Anybody that's pushing Pan-Africanism, they look at them as a sucker, as somebody that they can use based on their sentimental values.
They could take advantage of them.
Yep. And they do take advantage of them too.
Yep. I had one dummy when I was in Ghana. He said he left the States because he got tired of the police thing. But in Ghana, if you're driving around, the cops would extort you. You know what I'm saying? Take money from you. You know what I'm saying? I had a driver. He got pulled. Every time I drove with him, he was getting pulled over paying money.
Really?
Yes, sir.
That's crazy. So they just distorting themselves, and so you know they'll distort you.
Oh yes. I was driving with a brother. You know what I mean, who came from the States. I was driving with him too, and he had to give them money too.
Wow. But here's the thing. Here's the thing about being over there. They're still up under a dominant society. That's the whole thing. Africa's still being ruled by other people, basically.
Yes. And then another thing, don't get
about the leadership.
There's another thing. Don't try to do no construction project over there. Depending on them to fix your stuff, they like it's not like over here. You got a project done, we get it done on time. We have a timeline. They don't have a timeline over there.
What you mean?
They don't have a deadline like we got over here. Like say you do a construction site, you renovate a building. You know a certain time it's going to get renovated. Over there, you be waiting for the 12th or never.
What?
Yeah.
Well, you know, the thing is, we got to focus on ourselves over here. But one of the things that I want the young brothers to do is start identifying, and this is going to be hard for us to do, but we got to identify with FBA first before you identify with any group, gangbangers, GDs, BDs, Bloods. You got to identify with FBA first.
I agree.
We got to start identifying with that, because you know if you don't keep these rival tribe wars going, because that's what that is. You know what I mean? Those are rival tribes, and what constitutes them is growing up in certain areas. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is another thing I can't understand about Pan African. They preach that go back to Africa stuff, but the Africans want to come over here and take our place. Okay, they don't even want to stay on the African continent. Make sense.
That's another mind game, because if they really wanted you to go somewhere, they wouldn't have sabotaged Garvey Boats and threw him in jail. They go back to Africa. They don't mean it, because what would they do? What would they do? What would they do without us?
Yeah, that's true. But Garvey, they wouldn't even let him in Africa.
Facts.
That's because who during that time, what black person really had control, what African really had control over their country or their region?
They still don't.
Exactly. So, but it's easier to come here, tell us, cosplay as us, apply for benefits that's supposed to be for us, and their come up, and we champion that stuff along.
Right. Well, so let me ask you this. So what do y'all think about, you know, what Trump is doing in regards to deportation?
I think that's the way it should be. Why should we foot the bill for everything? The IRS will come get you for your $65. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
While the government takes in your tax dollars, they're paying it out to everyone else, every other country.
True.
Healthcare system strained. That's why they're doing all these denial.
True.
Schools are strained. What used to be an all black or a black and white school, now the
Mm-hmm.
classes are 100% from across the border.
True.
How is that fair to those that have been here? It's not. That no matter if you're Mexican and you've been here, no matter if you're black and you've been here, no matter if you're white and you've been here, how is that fair to the people that's from here? It's not. Go home. A lot of them came and got educations. Go home with that education and make your country great. If I was running any country in Africa, you call them home. You form you a committee. You're in charge of transportation with this education you've gotten in the UK or the US. Form you a committee that helps get your country on the right track. Or you
Mm-hmm.
tell them, don't bring your ass back over here. And we're going to tax your people higher too. Make them come
Mm-hmm.
home and put back into that place.
But they don't. They want to come here.
That's fact.
Let's just keep it real. They want to come here, and replace black people. So they think, which we are God's people. So the FBAs here cannot be replaced.
It's the proximity to white people. Seems that every group comes here and that's their goal. Let's walk across the black Americans' backs and face to get close to this group of people. Well, that group of people spoke in numbers. They want y'all out of here.
Mm-hmm. They definitely want y'all out of here. You know, and so Donald Trump is saying, "No, we gonna get rid of y'all."
And what I
Because
got to say about that is ice, ice, baby. Ice, ice, baby.
Hey man, I was in the store, man, and these young FBAs, they brothers, man. The store was crowded too, and it's a grocery store, and you know how kids come in and they just want to buy some chips and pop, soda, whatever pop, and there was some lines and some man. Them youngsters came in there, man. There was some African Nigerians or whatever. It's some Pakis, what you call it, Pakistanians.
Yes, sir.
And man, them youngsters started saying, man, the ice truck just pulled up. Let me tell you something, man. He cleared that whole store out. So he go. I told him, I said, man, y'all wrong for that. This lady, she said, y'all wrong for that. And they go, so you want to just stand in line and wait with all of them? She was like, not really. She was happy. But I'm telling you, man, they cleared that place out. So yeah, man, I'm all for it. Send them back to their countries. And like Cuz was saying, educate yourself, then go build your country. But what I don't like is you come over here and get a free education.
most of them did, though.
I know they did.
Okay.
That pisses me off more than anything.
Okay. So, but okay, it has happened already. So, what you do now is you go home and go help build your country.
Yeah,
And
but look at that.
they should also stop these people from coming here, building their little money and sending their money back home.
Don't let them come here. You come visit for a week or two, like going to any other country. 30 days after that, you gotta bounce. I was looking at this thing in UK. Dude was there for 8 years. He came there for supposed to be for 30 days. He stayed there for 8 years. You know what they called his ass at? Going down to get married. And right before his wife called his ass.
Yeah,
It's
another
too
thing I
close on
can't.
you.
Yes, sir. Another thing I don't like is they raise their flag over here. My thing is, if your country is so great and you're proud of your flag, why can't you go back to your country and fix it?
Right. Why you got to be over here raising your flag?
But Americans don't go
That
to
throws
their
me off.
countries and raise their flag. When I've looked through videos. You don't go and you don't see an American flag waving during some situation in Africa or Mexico. You don't see it.
No, because we have more respect for their country. We have more respect for people's countries. We're not about to do that. We're not about to go raise a flag, American flag, over in Mexico. We just there visiting. Or if they do move there, they're going to respect their country. They come over here and disrespect our country. Let's just be for real. When you look at the Nigerian parade that they had, I mean, how more disrespectful can you actually get? You know, I was baffled. I mean, the Mexicans are raising Mexican flags on a constant basis. It's just it baffles me. It really does. You know, but we go to their country because we don't raise nobody's flag.
No.
Yeah, all the countries I've been to, I never waved no American flag. Every country I've been to, because I have respect.
Yeah, you respect the country because we talk better manners than that. You know, we talk better than that. We know we're not going to Dubai and raise American flags. We're not going to Nigeria and raise American flags. That's their country. I mean, don't you think that would be disrespectful?
It is disrespectful. And my thing is, if you want to do that, you should go back to your country. Okay,
Well, if they
that
make
means
it law, it'll solve it.
so that means you don't identify as being American. So if you're not American, you need to go back to your country. Why are you over here? If you're so proud of your flag and your country, you need to take your behind back to where country you come from, because that's disrespectful.
But it's about benefits. They know they can get the black people's benefits. The black FBA benefit package, they can get it.
Yeah, that's what they're here for, so they can send money home to their family in their other countries. That's what they do.
And they also getting what is the EBT?
Yes, they have gotten that one under Kamala Harris administration.
And they also getting Medicaid.
Don't blame that on her. I didn't care for her and didn't want her as a president, but you can't blame that on her. She didn't set that system in place. That system was already in place.
Well, that's true. That's true what you said.
Who set it in place?
It's been going on for a very long time before she even ran, before Biden ran. It's been going on for a long time. She didn't set that in place.
But was the Democrats? Because neither one of them are really
yes, because the benefits. When you see now, if everything that Elon Musk is doing, if everything they're finding is true, then you see exactly who benefited. Who benefited. So if I push an agenda for the kittens in another country need socks, for instance, and they grant me $1 million for socks for cats.
Mm-hmm.
Some of this money might be making it to this program, but the rest of the money is diverted right back to where? My pockets and other people's pockets who helped me make it possible.
Mm.
And that's on both sides, not a Republican or just a Democrat thing.
Mm-hmm.
It is on both sides. She's telling the truth.
It is, yeah. But we only voted our best interest.
Because that's how you should always vote. That's how you should always vote. I think the need to see representation, people started voting. Oh, they black, I'm voting for them, or
right.
just because they appear black.
And they were tethers.
Right.
They were tethers and traitors.
Yes.
Yeah, we gotta get out of identity politics. It hasn't gotten us nowhere. We gotta look at the policies. Whoever's running, if the policies are detrimental, you should not vote for that person, whether they look like us or not.
Well, here's the thing. Sometimes they hide their policies, and it's a manipulation game. I think that we just can't vote for tethers and
Yeah,
traitors.
yeah, we
If a
got those
A
too.
lot of
if a
times
person
people don't
come
do the work to find that, because when you see this person and they're campaigning, it's, oh, as a black person, flat blackness
correct,
again.
correct identity.
So then you got to go do the digging to find this person's, oh, she's really from Trinidad or she's from here. Who got time to really research someone's DNA? A lot of people don't have that time.
Well, the thing is, what we have to do, in my opinion, uh, the people that do have a little bit of that time, they need to start posting that stuff on X and everything else. Is like, this person is from here, this person is this person is that. It's the same thing with the judges in in different states. You got to know who that judge is.
Yeah.
You got to know who that person is. Where's he from? Oh, he's from his parents and everything came from Nigeria. They came from Kenya. And you got to be like, okay, like Joyce Reed. She came over here, tether parents, educated herself, and look at her now. Look at her now. She's an enemy of black people. She tried so hard to get black people to vote against their own interests. It was baffling to me. Roland Martin is another one. They tried to get black people to vote. They even used a scare tactic of Trump gonna put everybody back in slavery.
Then the interesting thing about that
shit's crazy.
A lot of black elders felt like that, and here's my thing: if he didn't do it the first time, why would he do it now?
He can't do it.
He can't.
I mean, this will fucking be an all-out war.
The number one thing is because we're not going. Number two, that would be against their own interest as well. Who's thinking of? They're not. I don't believe that they're even thinking in that manner. They're not. No one's going back there.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think. First of all, it will be an all-out war.
Right.
I mean, when I say that, I'm literally saying once it started, it's going to be in every single country.
Well,
that means that all folks that look like them is going to be attacked.
Yep.
In every single country. Then what it does is it opens up vulnerability to your outside enemies if you having a civil war inside. Now you could be attacked by your outside enemies. Ain't no way they would allow that to happen. Can you imagine a civil war in America? And you got some whites fighting with blacks. You got whites fighting with, you got all these different groups at war. Right? So that means you got to bring in your military, right? So they can stop this shit, right?
Right. Right.
So if you China and you pulling your military from the Middle East so they can come over here and help stop the bloodshed, or you one of these Middle East countries, the first thing you say is, we got their ass now. We got their ass now. So they not no way gonna let that happen. So, but the Democrats like rolling it on them, they're pushing all this nonsense, bro. That's nonsense. And the old people believed it. I hate to say it. And some of the young people, because young people don't really know nothing about slavery, to be honest with you. But I did hear older people, Trump gonna push us, he gonna put us back in slavery. So then it brings back to mind when Kanye West said it was a choice and they went crazy, remember?
Yes, I remember.
So I agreed with him because if it's 150 blacks in the field and in the house is 6 or 7, controlling everybody is 15 or 20 people. That's the goddamn choice, because you could go wipe their asses out. And they got mad at him. What you think? Do you think it was a choice that they would go ahead and accept that?
Yes, it's a choice because you had slave revolts in the United States. One of them was the Gullah Wars.
That's real.
They revolted and ran to the swamps and took over Florida.
That's real. I forgot about that one. That's right. Any other ones? Because the famous one is Nat Turner.
And
What's
look
the
what
other ones?
they
D-Mark, go ahead. John Brown, even though he was a white American, he helped. He killed a lot of slave masters. John Brown,
Mm-hmm.
he revolted, even though he wasn't a slave. He helped in the slave revolts. You know what I mean? And then you had Denmark Vesey. He tried, but he got snitched on. Some coon snitched on him.
Mm-hmm. You got any more, Jahari?
No, I think Daniel covered the most important ones, the most well-known ones, rather.
Mm-hmm. And it was more than that.
It was.
It was way more than that.
It was more than that. They didn't just give up slavery on their own because they were just good people. That's not what happened. You know what I mean? There's
Right.
more and more revolts against it, and more whites being killed. And their homesteads were being set on fire. And they just literally had to stop this shit. They had to say, listen, we got to stop this shit because it's not going to be any peace. It's almost like Israel and Gaza. I don't care what they do in Gaza and where they move the people from. Whoever is living there is never going to have peace there. Those Gazians are going to come back and attack and kill anybody in sight. You hear me?
Yeah, it'll never be peace over there.
It'll never be peace over there.
I think because people are looking at it for what it is today, and I believe the Palestinians are like this. Back in way back year, you people showed up here and we took you in. So now how do you get most of this land and you're telling us we don't belong here is really what has happened.
Well, the thing is, they get it because they got a military. And they made sure that you didn't have one.
And look at their situation. They caught up in a landlock.
Who is that? Gaza?
Yeah, the Palestinians. They caught up in a landlock.
They ain't no landlocked. They getting their stuff gangster taken from them.
I know that, but I'm saying that they're one territory. They can't spread around like they're closed in.
They are, but the thing is, I feel like they brothers who they call their brothers are cowards, and it's like they'll take the money first.
But that's kind of what every nation does, really.
Yep, that's what every nation does, except for America and the Brits and UK and all them. They don't take the money first. They take the alliance first.
Right.
Germany, all of those things. They take the alliance first. It's the other countries that take the money first. And the reason why is because the American dollar has more value. And that's why BRICS is doing what they're doing. So it won't have as much value.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Look, if you go to Tanzania, I think the dollar, $1 is like 20, what is it, 2,200 over there or something?
Yeah, I know in Ghana.
Something crazy like that.
Yeah, I know in Ghana, $1 American is equal to 20 CDs of Ghanaian money. 20 CDs equals $1 American. When I was in Ghana, it's like 20 to 1.
So you see what I'm saying? And Ghana is one of the ones that continents that the spread is not as big. The rest of them, it's larger. $1 in Tanzania, I think it's $2,200. $1 American.
Wow, that's wow.
Cuz, look it up. Cuz, can you see it, cuz?
What?
The one American dollar in Tanzania equals what?
Let me see.
But yeah, Daniel, them ops, man, listen here, man. No. We gotta weed them out, you know. And he, he left a message on my thing. And I
He
told
left
him,
a
man,
message on my.
he left
Go
one
ahead.
on you, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Couple of messages.
Yeah, he left a bunch of them on mine. The thing is, I told him from the jump, I said, man, I've been knowing Tariq when I lived in LA for like 1989. When we was teenagers, basically.
Wow, that's a
And the
long time.
music came. I said, bro, he been legit since I've been knowing him. I said, look, man, now you cool with me, but now all of a sudden you want to talk bad about this brother, and I'm not gonna let you do that shit.
See, he seems like he hates on a lot of other people too. He's a hater.
He's a
He got
hater.
haterade. He has haterade in his tank.
He does.
And he's very deceitful too. He's very deceitful. He's disingenuous.
I agree. And as soon as I mention Tariq, that nigga went right into this spiel of disrespect. And I had to check him. As soon as we mentioned, and I hate to say it, we mentioned Dr. Umar, remember?
I remember that.
He went right into disrespect.
Yep.
And I don't rock with Umar.
I
I
don't
like
either.
some of the stuff that he says, but I don't rock with him with that Pan-Africanism bullshit. So
Yeah.
I know. But I still respect him. You know what I mean? You ain't got the oh, that nigga ain't shit. That kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what he does.
But
that's what he does.
That's not needed. Let them do their work according to what they feel and their beliefs. This is an argument because I believe differently than you.
Right.
And I just don't feel like it should be that way.
Whether it's jealousy, but that depends on the character. He's jealous.
Whether it's ADOS.
Somebody's phone is making a lot of noise.
That's somebody that can get messages. I don't know what that is, but
no, it's humming. No, it's like a humming, static sound. But anyway, those are but I'm saying because those are haters and just people that want to deceive other people.
Agents of chaos.
The agents of chaos. But their personality is hater. But they want to call you brother. Oh, my brother. Oh, my brother. In the meantime, they really hating on you. I don't like that kind of shit.
I don't either.
You know? He called Reek's show and was talking about, oh yeah, brother, but you my big brother. And he does this bullshit. In the meantime, you post this shit calling him Hitler and all kind of shit. on your site. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Cut that shit out.
Yeah, he's the same one that fake when he go to Africa. He fake when goes to deal with his African wife. He the same one that fake like he a Muslim. He told me he don't believe in Islam. Why
That's
would you
true.
go and fake like you a Muslim? You don't believe in it.
That's true.
Make
That
that
he
make
did
sense.
do. Exactly. Exactly. And I told him, don't talk about FBA, bro. I said, and I'm not going to talk about Africa. But he constantly wanted to do it. You know what I mean? Listen, Jahari, did you find it? So we're gonna get off this live, y'all. And so we can go on with the rest of our day. But did you find what the exchange was for the American dollar and Tanzania?
2,000.
$2,000?
About 2,500.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's real crazy. And you want us to go move back to Africa. They want us to move to Africa. You must be out your rabbit mind. Please, I love America. I'm staying here.
I do
Okay,
too.
they trying to come over. They trying to come over here. Okay, you go to Africa and you get a job over there. If you get lucky, you can get a job over there, and you get hurt on a job. They don't have workers' comp. Okay, they don't have none of that stuff.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? No, they don't. So I'm gonna stick with my ancestors here, and I'm good with that. And yeah, I'm right.
Yep.
Anyway, man, we had a good conversation, y'all. We just wait. Listen, we just getting it back started. We gonna get better flows. You know, we gonna get better flows. When, you know, we keep filling each other out. Because you know it's crazy. All three of us on the three-way, we just be flowing through. We be moving, talking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we'll get there.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We'll get there. But we got to make sure that whoever phone it is making noise.
Oh, hold on, make sure.
But that didn't help.
At all.
Is it still making noise?
Are you by the microwave, Daniel?
You about to blow up.
No, I'm away from the microwave. I'm in the room.
Okay.
I'm away from the microwave.
Ah, man.
I took my headphones off. I don't know if that was causing it. I don't know.
It was the headphones. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
Did you are you on speaker now? You just on speaker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably better. That's probably better. But anyway, so what's today? Tuesday or Wednesday? Today Tuesday, right?
Today's Wednesday.
Okay.
Today is Wednesdays. Okay, so we got to do another one on I think it says Sunday. I'm gonna let y'all know what time. We gotta do it every Tuesday, every Wednesday and Sunday.
Okay.
We just gotta do it at the right time. But just do it consistently. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, this is what people understand. I'm gonna make it clear. I'm not discouraging you to go visit Africa. You go visit Africa. You need to get the experience anyway, so you can be educated. Stop listening to these Pan-African idiots. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I had some good time over there in Ghana, but I'm a realist. I know I'm not their people. I'm my own people now. I understand that.
Right. No, listen, I agree with you. We should go visit Africa. We should go visit. I mean, like, I would love to go to Tanzania. I would love to go to Ghana and stuff like that. And absolutely go visit. I mean, that's what we're supposed to do.
We all at FBA, we all need to get that experience.
Absolutely. You know, go visit all the islands.
Yep,
you know,
I agree.
Jamaica, every place. You're
even
supposed
travel
to
to Europe.
That.
You can go to Europe everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean?
I would first, before that, I would go visit places here that are very significant to why you are who you are. A lot of people never seen the fields or the areas that their ancestors had to work in. I would take
true.
I would take those trips before I go to Africa.
You
Yeah, one of
Completely,
the
you are absolutely right because
completely understand yourself before you worry about looking in someone else's country for something. You, some people, I feel like it's a find yourself thing,
right. Yeah, we
but
need to
that
go to
that start that
Carolina
starts, that starts at home though.
no
because
reason why I say go visit those places, because you will not take your citizenship for granted. You'll appreciate your citizenship. Then you want to understand why a lot of these people want to come over here.
but I do understand. But you know what? I'm with you on that, cuz um, because I haven't even been to Carolina yet. You know, have you, Daniel?
When I was little, my foster mother took me to North Carolina, and I should have been visiting South because that's where my father's side's from. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Oh yeah,
And
because
Georgia, I've been to Georgia. I've been to Georgia though. I've been to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying?
okay.
That's where my mother's side is from. I've been there. You know what I'm saying? But I need to go visit Charleston. I got family still in Charleston. I need to go visit.
Yeah, we got to go. Cuz you been to Carolina?
Yeah.
I haven't been. I haven't been. But Daniel, she found something on your Daniel a
Oh yeah,
news
I just
clipping.
remember. My father's two Julians. My grandfather was a Julian. My father was a Julian.
Okay.
That's
Well,
what happened. Yeah.
she cuz found the newspaper clipping on it
We
was a
can
great.
discuss it on the phone, though. I want to
Yeah.
discuss it. We can
I would
discuss it
rather let's hang
outside the
up
show.
here.
Yeah,
Huh?
but she found the newspaper clipping. She gonna send it to you.
Let's
Okay.
get up here and get it on the phone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she found
Yeah,
it.
we can do that.
You know, so we go. Well, if we gonna pick it up later, and then we'll get on a three-way.
Okay, that's the plan. That's the plan. Sound like a
All
plan.
right. All right. So
Yep.
this podcast was a little better. We getting there. We getting there, y'all. We gonna flow. We getting there. You know what I'm saying? We getting there. We gonna get into our flow.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well,
Yes, sir.
listen,
Yes,
y'all.
sir.
Peace, and we'll talk later on the three ways.
Okay. Peace, family.
All
All right.
right.
Peace.